Good evening, I'm Kiera Lake, and we're interrupting the broadcast with some breaking news right now. There's been an apparent shooting at Michigan State University.
Both MSU and East Lansing police have sent out warnings about shots being fired and telling people to shelter in place. Police seem to be centered on the area right next to downtown East Lansing, including the Union. Now, we are going to be as responsible as we can with our coverage.
6 News reporter Josh Sanchez is one of several teams we do have on scene in East Lansing. Josh, you're out there live right now at the scene. It's pretty active. Behind you, what do you see right now?
Well, Kiera, around 8:30, MSU police tweeted that there was those shots fired near Berkeley Hall. Now, across the street from the Student Union on Grand Avenue, we saw Michigan State police troopers telling students and other people on the street to get into nearby businesses and to clear the street and to stay away from windows.
Now, we are going to try Audrey Dahlgren once again. Audrey, I know you're. What have you seen? What can you tell us? Do we have any new information?
Hey guys, I hope that you can hear me, but Ian and I are just a little bit down the street. Well, we're actually across the street from Vogue. And when we pulled up, we were able to speak with a couple of students who were eating at Acres Hall. And that's when they heard gunshots.
It looks like Luke is right at the corner of Harrison and Michigan Avenue. That's what looks familiar, so they're probably blocking off people from going to campus. Now, Luke, can you hear us?
We are here at Abbott Road. We've been on Grand River. We've been here for about 45 minutes. And as you can see behind us, there's just been a line of ambulances. We counted more than a dozen police officers.
I know a lot of people are very scared in this moment. I know you may want to go down to that location to check on your child right now. I know you want to get there, but right now we're trying to keep everyone safe.
Yes.
I don't see anything that a suspect has been caught. There's no one who has been arrested at this point that we see from Michigan State Police.
Right.
I know you're trying to get down there, but please stay safe before we can just let you go there. We don't want to have anyone roaming on campus. And you're right next to the Broad Art Museum right now. That's basically the heart of East Lansing. You're in downtown East Lansing right now. When you saw those kids exiting the buildings, were they saying anything to you? Did they seem scared in that situation?
Many of them were confused. Some of them, I could see other students running from campus, and many of them were crying and just calling on their phones, trying to get in touch with folks. And it's just been a night of a lot of students just with leaving campus with confusion and also in tears. I also saw students that work in these restaurants along Grand River just calling on their phones, most likely checking in on friends that are probably still on campus. All of those restaurants were closed, but folks were opening their doors to allow students to go through their restaurants to get to a more centered part of downtown East Lansing, to get away from campus.
If you've been watching us, we do have Josh Sanchez on the scene. We also have two other people now, Audrey Dahlgren on the scene. I'm assuming maybe going to a slightly different area of campus, and also Luke Snyder. So we've got a team for you working right now to get you the latest information, and as soon as we get any new updates, of course, we will bring that to you.
You might see a lot of rumors right now of how many victims there are, how many suspects there are. Like you said, as soon as we learn that information, we'll be sure to share that with you, and it will be accurate. We're not trying to report anything right now to scare you guys or bring you anything that isn't untrue. Everything that we'll say right now is coming straight from MSU police.
But again, this is a secure in place for East Lansing and MSU on campus. So that means you need to be staying where you are, inside, away from windows. This is an active scene. Police, as of right now, we believe they are still trying to figure out who is responsible and track this person down. Campus is completely blocked off at this time. And we know we've been saying,
so
avoid
it looks like
campus
right here. Emergency response crews are going on. Now, I'm not sure if they're about to enter a building. As you can see, there are multiple emergency response vehicles lined up. Those are all ambulances. I haven't seen anything like this before.
No,
personally.
I haven't either.
I know it was a scary situation. I was reporting live just a couple days ago when we got the initial calls that this was happening at Jackson, that there was an active shooter, that was a hoax, though. Fortunately, Then not much longer, there was the same thing of an active shooter happening at Okemos High School.
Right.
Thankfully, that was a hoax, but it's sad that most of probably these first responders, they just had to deal with this situation a couple days ago.
Nick Burkle, we are hoping to have him join us now. Nick Burkle, who's a student at MSU, hoping to join us via Zoom here momentarily, a freshman at MSU. To see what Nick heard and saw.
The voice that you're hearing now is coming from Nick Burkle. He's currently a freshman at Michigan State University. Nick, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hi. Okay, we are currently live going on right now. We know this is a very active scene right now. Now, do you live on campus?
Yeah, I live in South Campus. I'm currently sheltering in place at my friend's dorm in North in Abbott Hall.
When did you first hear about this? Was it an alert on your phone? And talk to me about that moment that you first received this alert that there was a possible shooting situation, active shooting situation on campus.
Yeah, I think it was about an hour ago exactly. We were just sitting doing homework. We just ate at Snyder Phillips Hall, and I got a call from my friends saying they heard a rumor that there's an active shooter. Soon after, I saw an email from Michigan State, and it's initially we all thought I was at the Union and really scared because we actually almost ate dinner there. And now it's just we saw cop cars driving by constantly, and we still are seeing that. And it's just a very scary feeling just sitting in our dorm right now.
Talk to me about how you're feeling right now. Can you put it into words? What's going through your mind?
Yeah, actually, I had a busy day. I was focusing on home. It's just a weird feeling. I was so worried about my exam, but now that feels so meaningless now. And I'm just praying and hoping everyone's safe right now. And it's just a very scary, weird feeling. I hope I never had to go through, and I hope no one else has to either. I love walking through campus so much. It's something that I really enjoy, actually. And now I don't know if I'll ever feel the same just going to class again. And I don't know. I don't even know how to describe how that makes me feel. We blockaded our door and locked it, obviously, and just turned all of our lights off and just looking out the window and trying to keep up with any new news we hear.
And I know when you go to Michigan State University, you're just excited to meet friends. You're excited to start your life. You're by yourself. You're away from your family. In this moment, did you think that you'd be sheltering in place and having to barricade yourself in your dorm?
Well, unfortunately, with the reality of our country, it's something definitely comes in your mind, because I know there's been other threats at other universities or other active shooting incidents, but it's kind of something I never thought. I always prayed I didn't have to go through. Going through school now, you talk about constantly because it's something that fortunately happens so much, but I never thought I would be in this position where I'm terrified hiding in my room.
Just to kind of recap, the first initial reports of shots being fired on campus, this was at Berkey Hall. This was at 8:18, so earlier this evening. And then about an hour later, a little over an hour later, there was another reported shooting at IM East. We do know from the IM East shooting that there are multiple confirmed injuries. So we are still trying to figure out, how many people have been injured, how seriously these injuries might be. Still, again, waiting to get any idea as to what a suspect might look like. At last report, we know that that person was on foot. And we know, not a great description, but a short man with a mask is the description. And unconfirmed reports from our scanner had just said that he was carrying some kind of weapon.
Right now, we just heard from Audrey Dogger, and she was live at Acres Hall, but now she joins us now. Audrey, I know it was a lot going on where you were. Now, when you were on campus, what was going on there?
So as I had kind of mentioned to you guys a little bit earlier when we had touched base, multiple heavy police presence, and not just from locally, but state police have been called. State police are on campus. They passed us as on their way to what would be Acres Hall, across from Owen Hall, where Ian and I both were, and then also across from the Wharton Center. The one thing, we were able to speak, and I think you're going to hear from. Okay, so we have the two students that I was able to catch up with, and we're just going to hear from them now.
Okay.
Okay.
Why are you guys here?
We were in Acres Dining Hall. We were eating when it happened. They blocked us in. They wouldn't let me go to my dorm. They wouldn't let me leave. And then no one would let us block the door. And then all of a sudden he's in the courtyard, like right outside the building. And then they started blocking the doors. And then one of the people just started running to one side. So we all just ran out. And then when we ran out, there were cops there. And they told us to go lay in a field.
If you're just joining us, it is 11 o'clock, which is when we would start our 11 p.m. newscast. We are following breaking news of shots fired, an active shooting situation on the campus of MSU. Hopefully we'll be getting an update here soon. What you're looking at right now is the where we're going to be getting an update any minute now from law enforcement on the situation. It was supposed to start at 11 o'clock, so we are waiting for that, and we're going to stay on until that happens. Dana White is the MSU police spokesperson.
MSU police spokesperson, yep, and it looks like she will be getting started here shortly.
So as soon as she's... Okay, let's take it.
So we are very saddened to report that there has been an incident on the campus of Michigan State University. There has been shots fired and a shooting in multiple locations near campus.
And the police are looking for one individual that they
Can you just describe what you see,
yes,
at least
so
in that picture?
There we go, here we go. So this is the suspect, black man, described as shorter in stature, wearing, as you can see, bright red shoes, a jean jacket, a baseball cap that is navy with a lighter brim, last seen on foot, leaving the MSU Union, the north side of that building.
We heard from Interim Deputy Chief Chris Rosman. He was just very shaken up, and I think we're about to hear another update from him right here. Press conference.
Again, Chris Rosman, Deputy Chief with Michigan State University Police and Public Safety. So we start tonight by sharing an important update, and that update is the suspect in this incident was located outside of the MSU campus. And it does appear that that suspect has died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. It is confirmed that he is deceased. This truly has been a nightmare that we are living tonight, but we have remained laser focused on the safety of our campus, our students, and the surrounding community. We are relieved to no longer have an active threat on campus, while we realize that there is so much healing that will need to take place after this. Again, to reiterate the update, there is no longer a threat to campus. We believe there to only be one shooter in this incident, and there is no longer a need to shelter in place on campus. There is no longer a threat on campus. We are sad to report that there have been 3 confirmed fatalities. This is in addition to the 5 victims who were injured and transported to the hospital. Some of those 5 victims still have life-threatening injuries.
We've had a reporter on the scene all night covering what's been going on from right outside of where this initially happened at 818 of Berkey Hall is Josh Sanchez. Josh, what can you tell us?
I'm at the intersection of Lake Lansing and East Street, but further down there you can see that there are several Lansing police officers there. From our understanding, it has been confirmed that this is the alleged shooter, that the alleged shooter is dead.
We do know that they're going to update us again at 1:30, so we are going to come back on the air for that 1:30 press conference, but we are going to wrap up now. Head to our website, Wlns.com, for the latest information. We've got everything for you there, and we'll continue to be here for you throughout the night and, of course, into tomorrow morning. But again, 1:30, we're expecting another update, so stay with us for that. We learned around 12 that the suspect was dead, and it looks like the news conference is going to be starting here momentarily. We are hoping to get,
my name is Teresa
it's beginning now, let's
I'm
listen
the
in.
interim president at Michigan State University, and tonight our Spartan hearts hang heavy. This is a day of shock and heartbreak here across our campus and our region.
I will start by sharing an update that the 5 victims that were transported to the hospital were transported to Sparrow Hospital in Lansing. All 5 of those victims remain in critical condition. I will also share that the incident that occurred off campus with the suspect occurred in the city of Lansing, off campus. That suspect is, we now know, is a 43-year-old male. That 43-year-old male is not affiliated in any way with Michigan State University.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News this morning.
Well, good morning, Mid-Michigan. It is Tuesday, February 14th. I'm Jorma Duran.
And I'm Kira Lake. Thanks for joining us.
We're here for you now with the latest on the deadly shooting at Michigan State University. Authorities say 3 people are dead and 5 others injured after multiple shootings on the MSU campus. Police also say the person responsible died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
The first shooting happened just after 8 o'clock last night at Berkey Hall, and he then headed to his next location on campus where he continued his deadly attack.
Now, 2 of those who died were at Berkey Hall, and the 3rd was at the MSU Union. The 5 that are injured are now listed in critical condition. According to police, the suspect was a 43-year-old man with no affiliation to the university. He shot and killed himself after being confronted by police in the area of Lake Lansing Road and Larch Street. No names of victims or the suspect have yet to be announced.
Throughout the night, police were getting reports of shootings across campus, and this included IM East, which is a recreational center. But police say they only found victims at Berkey and the Union. MSU Interim Deputy Police Chief Chris Rosman says a lot of false information was called into police and circulating on social media.
Shortly after the first reports of shots fired, a shelter-in-place went into effect across East Lansing. But this is now over, and authorities say there is no longer a threat to the public.
During a press conference around 1:30 this morning, police provided a few details about the suspected gunman. So joining us now live with those details is 6 News reporter Nate Salazar. Nate, what can you tell us?
Well, Jorma and Kira, I'm out here on campus, and behind me you can see the MSU Union, which was one of the locations of the shooting. Now, Interim Deputy MSU Police Chief Chris Rosman says that the shooter had no affiliation to Michigan State University at all, not a student, not staff, and he also says that they have no speculation of any motive for the shooter.
This deadly incident is hitting close to home and causing a lot of people to react.
And this morning, we're hearing from students who were on campus when this all happened. So joining us now live, also from MSU, is 6 News reporter Ray Sherman.
Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, or maybe I should just say morning, due to the fact that there were 3 people killed last night and 5 people were injured on that MSU's campus due to a deadly shooting that occurred. Now, 6 News reporters did have a chance to speak with some of those students that were part of the shooting, that were there witnessing it. Here's what they had to say.
When I looked down, I saw waves of people running towards me. I tried to fumble with the windows to let people in. I couldn't get it, so I ran to the door. We got a lot of people inside, and we took some people up to a safer place on the 3rd floor landing.
We're telling each other, like, it doesn't feel real. I mean, especially because we're inside, we can't see everything. We're just listening to the police scanner and just looking at Twitter and the news. It's just unreal.
All right, Ray, thank you. Well, MSU University officials have now canceled all campus activities for the next 48 hours.
And in the wake of such a tragedy, multiple local school districts have canceled classes today as well. They include Lansing, East Lansing, Lansing Christian, Lansing Catholic, Ingham Intermediate Schools, Okemos, Waverly, Holt, and Hazlitt. This tragedy is causing a lot of reaction from Michigan's elected officials as well. Our Taylor Morris has the details on those statements this morning. Good morning, Taylor.
Jorma, that's right. Every elected official who is reacting to this tragedy is urging people to stay safe, let police do their work on campus, and support the people of East Lansing and MSU during this difficult time. Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson shared her condolences on Twitter, saying she is holding the entire MSU community in her heart. She also called for an action against what she called this repetitive terror.
6 News at noon.
We will get through this together. I cannot believe that I am here again doing this 15 months later.
Didn't get a lot of sleep last night, sorry.
Raw emotion today as we learn more about a mass shooting on the campus of Michigan State University. Right now, Michigan State University students, faculty, and staff who need help to handle what's transpired are getting help. Nate Salazar continues our team coverage. He's here for you now live from the Rock with more. Nate?
Well, Jorma, I'm on campus right now, standing in front of the MSU Rock, where students are gathered all around and have even started placing flowers on the rock. On it, a message: how many more? That's what's on the minds of everybody who's in close proximity to the horrific shooting that happened last night.
We are learning more about the suspected shooter, but we still don't know much about a motive. Our team coverage continues with Taylor Morris live on campus with more. Taylor.
Yeah, Jorma, good afternoon. We're live right now on Michigan State's campus, just a little after 12 hours after the mass shooting took place right here on Michigan State's campus.
6 News at 5.
An emotional day in East Lansing and around mid-Michigan.
It's close to home. Every person's experience is just different, and it's real.
3 lives lost, 5 others seriously injured, and a community in shock.
And our Spartan hearts are broken. We're grieving. But as a community, we're grieving together.
Tonight, we remember the victims as we look for answers.
We cannot keep living like this. Our children are scared to go to school.
It is our top story today at 5. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sherry Jones. Tonight, we are learning more about the victims. Our team coverage begins tonight with Josh Sanchez. He's live at that vigil that is just about ready to get underway. Josh?
Sherry, the Martin Luther Chapel has had their doors open all day for anybody that needs a quiet place to reflect.
We're learning more tonight about the suspected shooter, including some of his backgrounds in a previous run-in with police. 6 News reporter Luke Snyder is here for you now with that part of the story.
Sherry, the Ingham County Prosecutor's Office shared some information about a case today involving the suspected shooter, Anthony McRae, that dates back to 2019.
Well, many parents were desperate to pick up their kids after this tragedy, but for some, that just wasn't an option. Imagine the worry being 3,000 miles away from your child when you get the news about a mass shooting at their school. Darylyn Horn is here for you now with one parent's story about that hopeless feeling of not being able to help. Darylyn?
That's right, Sherry. As you can tell behind me, students are lining up to pay their respects for all the victims that we lost last night.
With 6 News at 6.
The threat is over and the healing begins on the campus of Michigan State University following yesterday's tragic shooting. And it is our top story tonight at 6. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sherry Jones.
And I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Religious leaders and groups are stepping up to help those affected by last night's shooting, giving them space to grieve and remember the lives changed.
Josh Sanchez has more on how these kinds of opportunities, complemented by therapy dogs from around the Midwest, are offering much needed support tonight. Josh?
Sherry, Siobhan, pastors are leading students and members of the Spartan community in prayer tonight at the Martin Luther Chapel. They're also being joined by those therapy dogs. Now, teams from Ohio, Indiana, and Michigan have made the 100-mile drive in some cases to be here today and tomorrow.
Those 3 students killed are being remembered fondly tonight, along with the 5 others who are hospitalized, some fighting for their lives.
McCoy Scribner is here for you now with more on the MSU students that were taken too soon. McCoy?
Sherry and Siobhan, while most of campus is empty, you'll most likely find crowds of people looking to pay their respects at 2 places, the MSU Rock and the Spartan statue. And people there today tell me they didn't have to think twice about why. Ariel Anderson, Brian Fraser, and Alexandria Verner, all MSU students, all whose lives were taken last night on campus.
6 News has been reaching out to people on campus to hear their stories of survival.
And one man we spoke to says he was standing right next to one of the victims when he was shot.
Darylyn Horn talked to him today. She's here for now with more on their heartbreaking conversation, and she joins us live from the campus of MSU. Darylyn, what did you hear from him today?
Yes, Siobhan and Sherry. So the man we spoke with today is indeed a survivor.
It's our top story at 11. Thanks for joining us. I'm Siobhan Klepfer.
And I'm Sherry Jones. 5 victims from that shooting are still recovering in the hospital tonight.
A doctor told our sister station in Grand Rapids, Wood TV, that one of those students is now awake and alert, which is encouraging.
Now, those victims are in addition to the 3 who were killed during the shooting.
And we're also learning more about those 3 students who were all from Michigan. Sophomore Brian Frazier from Grosse Pointe was president of his fraternity, Phi Delta Theta.
His fraternity brothers posted their farewell to him online, saying he was their leader. They loved him, and they will greatly miss him.
The fraternity also extended its condolences to Brian's family.
Well, throughout the day, police have released more information on the shooter to say that he appeared to not have any connections to MSU.
Both family and people who knew the suspect, 43-year-old Anthony McCrae, say he had a troubled history.
Josh Sanchez heard from one man who says McCrae's attitude had been turning dark over the past few years. Josh?
Sherry, Siobhan, a Lansing man tells me that Anthony McCrae, the alleged suspect in the MSU shooting, had changed over the years and was not the same man he knew back in 2018.
The Spartan community mourning. 3 young lives lost, 5 others in the hospital tonight, honoring the victims as the search for answers continues. It is our top story today at 5. Good evening. I am Sherry Jones, and I'm reporting to you live at the campus of Michigan State University near the auditorium on the banks of the Red Cedar right near the Rock. A vigil is set to start here tonight at 6 o'clock. Many people are gathering right now. As you can see, the Rock is directly behind me. People have been coming all afternoon to lay flowers at the Rock with the names of the victims painted on it: Brian, Ariel, and Alexandra, with always a Spartan in quotes. Next to that, you can see crosses that have been put up, flowers at the foot of them as well, and having people have the opportunity to sign their names and send wishes of love. Now, faculty and staff are right now holding a march in support of all the students, and that walk is beginning at the Sparty statue. It will end here at the Rock, but our Josh Sanchez is at the Sparty statue right now. We're going to join him now live. Josh?
Sherry, the mound of flowers at the foot of Sparty has been growing since Monday night. And what's usually the place for happy moments like graduation photos, engagement photos, is now a site for people to come together and grieve.
With 6 News at 6.
The MSU community comes together to mourn, to grieve, and to heal. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this special edition of 6 News at 6. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. You just saw a live picture of a vigil at Michigan State University that follows the mass shooting there on Monday night that claimed the lives of 3 students and critically injured 5 others. 6 News anchor and Spartan alum Sherry Jones is at that vigil and joins us now live from campus. Sherry, what's it like out there right now?
Good evening, Siobhan. The banks of the Red Cedar right now are filled with thousands of people. It's absolutely silent here. They're here to pay the respects to those who have lost their lives, the 3 students on Monday night, and the 5 that are in the hospital right now fighting for their lives. It's a very powerful, moving scene here at Michigan State University. Spartan Strong is absolutely what these people are conveying here as they pay their respects. They all came in, flooded in, and took a knee, took a seat to be with each other and to pray.
6 News at 11.
Through song and moments of silence, a sea of green came together tonight for support and to honor the victims of Monday's mass shooting on Michigan State's campus. This is our top story tonight at 11. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sherry Jones.
And I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Flowers blanket part of State's campus tonight after hundreds of students, staff, community members, and Spartan supporters gathered for a vigil earlier this evening.
The group started at the Sparty statue and then marched in solidarity to the Rock, where with heavy hearts, they honored 3 lives taken too soon and prayed for 5 others still fighting for their lives tonight.
Our Josh Sanchez was there for the vigil. And Josh, there was sorrow in the air, but you noticed something else as well.
I did, Siobhan, and as the event went on, I noticed a sense of resiliency.
Beneath the pines will gather to give our faith so true.
Hundreds of people, from Michigan State University students to those from around East Lansing, came together for a night of grief, community, and solidarity.